remember who was in which
Oh,
one.
we in here.
I don't remember which was which with that. But what's up? I got my guys from Smarknado hopping on over again.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that graphic.
Talk some.
Shout out to OK Chris Ruiz for the new graphic. We
Yes,
fucking
yes.
love it. We're going to get some new merch up with that new graphic.
You need to. You need to.
Soon.
I need to get merch up too. I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out to Sturdy rocking the Smarknado.
And
Yes.
HORRORWITHSIR.STURDY, Girl on the Third Floor. CM Punk is in this movie. I believe he directed it or some shit too, didn't he?
Yeah, he
I
had
don't
some
know.
sort of hand in it.
And yes,
I
get yourself some Smarknado merch, people. I got some shit right here.
yes.
You know, Phil has had his hand in some creative a lot lately, so I wouldn't be surprised if he, you know, dug his claws into this one.
Nice, nice. I did tag CM Punk, so I hope he does watch this. I did tag him on Twitter.
Okay. All right. Oh boy. Maybe he does want this.
No Phil slander. No Phil slander.
No Phil slander.
I'm not.
Is he gonna?
I'm not getting tossed off Collision, man.
Yeah, I'm not in the mood to be part of the pipe bomb tonight.
I got it. Fuck this. Hold up. Listen, CM Punk, you were involved in my favorite genre of film, which is horror. I like all the gory shit. I love all that shit, the psychological shit. But you suck at acting. This is SLICIN saying this to you. You're not a very good actor. You're a great wrestler, from what I was told. I don't watch wrestling really anymore, but I heard you were an excellent wrestler, excellent in the ring. Don't know what they said about your mic skills, but your acting skills, they're garbage. I'm not gonna lie, they're fucking garbage. And if you weren't in this movie, if there was a better actor in this movie, this would have been a way better movie. You fucked this movie up, man. You really fucked this movie up. This movie could have been really fucking good, but your fucking terrible acting skills fucked it up. So yeah, that's what I had to say about that. I want this at me though. If you have any issues, you want to cry about it, come at me. Leave Smarknado alone. They didn't treat this. They didn't say nothing. This is all sturdy. Not trying to start beef. I'm just giving you my opinion. You're a wrestler. You should be tough.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna just wave the flag and be like, CM Punk's an amazing actor.
No, he was really bad. And that was. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say that was my question for you. Was this a bad movie because of him, or was it a bad movie because it was a bad movie?
I mean, maybe a little of both, but I feel because if you have better acting in this, the movie could have been better, but then the story still doesn't really make any fucking sense.
It made zero. I was so confused.
But again, if you take his hands off of it, like the supernatural aspect of it with the women at first that you were seeing, could have been something dope. And then he probably just added his wrestling attitude shit. Was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna jump off the top rope. Like, no, that's not what we're doing. All right, so let me just punch holes in the wall and shit, and fucking just. Oh my god, I want to.
Listen, all I gotta say is that he should have been out of that fucking house.
Uh-oh.
All right, I want to wait for Dan to come back to say this, but I'll get back to my thought. But anyway, it was just hard to feel sympathy for him during that movie.
You couldn't.
He was just such an unlikable piece of shit, which is kind of true to life to who he really is. And that's on me. That's on me, Druckmann from Smarknado. It has nothing to do with Dan. I'm taking responsibility for these words. That's whatever.
I mean, I don't watch wrestling. I do watch the documentary stuff. I do listen to their awesome podcast, Smarknado, which you guys should go check it out. Link is in the description. Check out their other stuff. Check out their store as well. But I love watching like the documentaries or even like just like what's going on in the world, especially when it's like the not in the ring but like outside the ring, real life stuff. Plus Dark Side of the Ring and all that. But you hear a lot of shit about this guy being like an asshole to like other wrestlers and stuff. I'm like, that's not cool.
Yeah, man. Especially in the past couple of weeks, he actually. So just to kind of give context to the situation, last year they had one of their biggest events ever called All Out.
Mhm.
And after the show, CM Punk main evented. There were some backstage issues between CM Punk and the powers that be in AEW, the Elite. Well, first of all, Tony Khan owns AEW, but the Elite were also founders, so they hold some power, and that includes CM Punk and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Mhm.
So on air after that event, CM Punk aired out his grievances to all these guys because I guess he couldn't get in contact with them. Dan's phone overheated, by the way. Fucking North Carolina, I guess. It's nice and 72 degrees here in Albany.
They need to take their shirt off and start twisting around their heads like a helicopter. That's what Petey Pablo's talking about. When it gets hot, you do that to cool off.
But I digress. Yeah, so, there's been a lot of bad tensions between those two sides, between CM Punk and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And after CM Punk aired out those grievances, they got into a backstage physical altercation, resulted in some lawsuits, resulted in some, restraints that they have on each other where they can't talk about the situation and whatnot. The one guy that's associated with the Elite that wasn't part of the fight is Hangman Adam Page.
Mm-hmm.
And Hangman Adam Page is the one that CM Punk was talking shit about last week on the microphone. And for somebody to kind of talk shit about a talent off the record and when they're not actually involved in a feud with them, it doesn't really benefit anybody in the situation. You're just kind of burying this talent, and I mean that's just kind of who CM Punk is. He speaks his mind, but it's a crock of shit a lot of times.
I see.
Yeah. Yep.
All of the time, and I'm sorry for ruining the stream, guys.
No, this is fine to me. Being honest. We're about to be honest about this fucking movie. Man, I wish he wasn't in this shit. Oh my god. And I wanted to like his character, or at least just like him in this movie or his acting, and I couldn't.
He was just such a fucking arrogant prick in this movie, and just like thinking that he knows better than everybody else, and that's true to life.
He was that, but I don't think he was acting that very well. I don't think he was acting that very well at all.
Mm-hmm.
His emotions, his fate, his body emotions didn't really change too much. His facial emotions didn't really change too much when he's trying to be, just showing different emotions in general. I feel like he was trying to still be the wrestler instead of the actor.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
I agree.
Could be. I'm sure it's hard to turn on and off because one is more of like an improv. I'm assuming, and one is more of a literal scripted scripted content. You have to act and move certain ways and all that more so than but
I just how can you get behind a character where you decide to continue to live into a house whose shower head literally fucking money shot it all over you and you fucking fall in the bathroom? How do you not leave right there? How are you so fucking persistent and you have such a fucking unreasonably high opinion of yourself that you're gonna fucking stick it out at a place like this? Like, I had a hard time suspending my disbelief that there is this big of a fucking douchebag in the world. You know what I mean?
I think they tried to explain that away by saying, "Oh, well, he was persistent and stubborn and all that," and I was like, "Nah, yeah, you're right." The whole time I'm like, "Why is there jizz coming out of the shower head and the electrical sockets?"
That's not. There's no feasible explanation as to why that's happening.
They could have changed that liquid color to any like a brown, a black.
Sometimes your shower just comes on you. It's just a little defect that a lot of houses have. You can't just brush that off.
No, you really can't.
And when she said, "Oh, this didn't come up in the inspection," No, that house wasn't inspected. There was
No, the
nothing
fuck it
about
wasn't.
that inspected. That was.
No.
This is fucking insane. Like I just and I know that I'm supposed to suspend my disbelief for a lot of these movies. And of course, we watch something all the time, professional wrestling, where you have to do that all the time. But these situations, scenarios, I just had a hard time buying a lot of it.
But again, when the acting is so bad, mostly by him,
CM Punk sucked.
It's hard to sell whatever story they were trying to tell because he can't act. It would
I
be,
thought the women were decent actresses.
He should have been. They should have been the lead. He shouldn't have been the lead. He should have been in there briefly, like here and there. He's there. Yeah. Maybe even towards the end when you see him when he's at when he's crazy, the violent type. That's maybe when he should have been in the movie. But the rest of it, take him the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. I loved the pastor. I thought she was really good, and I thought the wife was really good too.
Yeah.
So yeah, to your point, like I thought they were decent actresses enough, but like man, like you think like the director and Punk were just like, hey, like let's find the coolest like close-up shots of my face that we can for the first hour of the movie. Like I just felt like I was just staring at his face the whole time.
It felt like such a vanity project too when he was like taking the sledgehammer to the wall and he was listening to the punk rock music while he was doing it. It was just like you're sucking your own dick, bro. Like
grown.
Yeah. Fuck this guy.
It was just rough, man. And I was kind of because the title sounds cool.
Yeah, it does.
The premise is cool.
I heard it was good. It got a good recommendation from one of my friends who also said that CM Punk is a good actor in the movie, and I'm going to spare him the embarrassment of saying
I was just about to say I need to know this person's name because we need to talk about this.
Maybe I'll tell you off the air. I think he has some anxieties, so I don't think he could handle it.
I wouldn't bash him, man. I'm just asking you, like, how, why, what were you watching?
Yeah, right.
What were you drinking or smoking if you do either or? And if you do either or and you weren't, well, do that again, then watch it.
For real. It just made me dislike him even more.
It didn't do him any favors in my book, and I tend to be the most of our wrestling friend group. I think I defend CM Punk the most, probably. And this is indefensible. There's nothing.
You know what other part of this movie drove me fucking crazy? I will say this, like, it is kind of a cool trope that, or like theme that they use with the marbles coming out of stuff. Like, I did kind of like that. I saw what they were going for. But the part where he fucking just eats the marble, like, I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Psycho.
Yeah.
Like, I just, fuck this guy. I was totally at a point in this movie with like 45 minutes left where I was just like, I am completely okay with this guy just fucking dying.
Oh,
like, I'd be completely all right with it, you know. And of course, I was just like, just fucking let the dog survive. But that didn't fucking happen. That pissed me off too.
I'm gonna tell you truthfully. I thought a lot about the movie had potential to be really cool. Like you had said, Sturdy. Like it's just like it had the right idea. You know, the corporate shitbag trying to reclaim his life, blah, blah, blah. You know, we've seen those kind of movies before. And like, okay, so he buys the old brothel, and then they sort of told the story about it. So it had a kind of a cool premise, but it was so, I think it was just trying to be too smart for its own good. And it came off being insane and not in a good way.
Not even close to a good way. Oh my God.
You can have a little bit of predictable, but still make it good.
Yeah,
you can, but again, you have to have better acting.
Yeah.
Especially with him being like the lead, the main character. Sometimes he's the only person in the scene, and I'm like, he's not selling any of this shit. One of these women should have been the lead, or if not all of them, because they were 100% better than he was. And I know it's not saying much because his acting sucks, but their acting was good, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say this too. If you want to know anything about CM Punk, and his opinion of himself, look no further than the scene when they're at the bar, and his buddy, the realtor / carpenter, is talking to him and talking to the bartender, and he's just like, "Oh, you didn't hear? Don here used to practically run Chicago." Like, fucking A.
It was a total vanity project. I don't know who produced it or whatever. It definitely looked like a film student somewhere, and the font, like, just from the beginning of it, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what is this knockoff hardcore 7-inch font? Like, what the fuck?
And I don't know if it's a sense of if they tried too hard or didn't try hard enough, because it seems like they try to do too many things at once without really explaining too much. No backstory to anything to really get you connected to something. Because in my opinion, I'm not saying all of them have to, but I feel like with a paranormal story, you want some sort of connection to where you care about at least one of the characters, whether that's caring for their safety or not caring. You know what I mean? You either love them or hate them, but you have that feeling towards them. And this didn't really, I mean, yes, you didn't really like his character, but didn't really give you that, like, gravitating towards, I need to know what's going on in the story. I want to hear more. I want to hear more. Because it was just a bunch of nothing, just shit happening. I'm just like, oh, what the fuck?
And not one thing connected to the other, right? Mm-hmm. Like, everything about it was like, okay, I want him to stop drinking. And then, like, they wanted to make that seem like that was a part of his character, but then it, like, did it really matter? No. Mm-hmm. Like, and it was just, and the marbles, see, like, I understood the marbles, but at the same time, like, they didn't do enough to explain the death of the little girl, or
not until the very end
prostitute, for that matter. Like,
not at all.
There was literally just no cohesion in this film, and I'm just genuinely bummed because I didn't want to come on the show and just be like, oh, this was fucking bad.
I mean,
like,
I thought we were going to watch a better movie this time. That's why I chose it. Like, I thought it was actually going to be okay.
So did I.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Sometimes we get fooled. It happens to the best of us.
Right.
This was rough.
We'll get one of these times. We'll nail one of these times.
Yeah.
It'll
never trust John.
Be
Another wrestling horror movie mixture. We want another one, guys.
For sure, man. Absolutely.
We want another one. And I'll tell you one that I did enjoy just because the kills were fun, and it was the one that Kane's in. I can't think of the name.
See No Evil.
See No Evil, yeah.
That's good shit.
It's not bad. It's definitely way better than this. Because he's like a slasher. He's just running around killing people pretty much.
It was also made by a much bigger studio.
Yeah, but those
I could buy that. I could buy that though. Yeah, it's just that's a real, Jason, Michael Myers type character that's gonna, that old trope is always gonna play no matter what.
Doesn't say too much. I think it says a few things, but again, I don't remember everything with it. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Got a hard time buying Phil Brooks, CM Punk as a common man.
And like what, like he shows up in, the fucking shirt and the slacks, and then starts doing construction in that, and just nothing about it was believable. It was just so aggravating.
It really was.
And like, this guy's supposed to be this big shot that makes all this money, but don't get me wrong, I have tattoos. I'm not bashing them, but like, I don't think the king of New York when it comes to finance is going to look like Phil Brooks. If I'm, it's just not going to be.
Well, wasn't
believable.
It said that like he swindled people out of money?
Yeah, but he was still in he said they got into their retirement fund, so I'd assume he was in finance in some way, shape, or form that he was able to get in there and take their money. So I don't know. Right. But again, when you don't flesh out a character, this is what happens. People sit around and speculate what this turd burger did for a living.
Burger. You're right. You're right.
Man.
I don't know. There was just I hated how it ended too. I hated that she stayed in the house.
So weird.
That
Yeah.
why? You fucking psycho.
And
Like-
and if she bashes this weird little like goblin's brains in, why are the marbles back? What the fuck does that like? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, to that point, I think it also like remember when Don killed the prostitute,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and she came back. So who's to say that that thing is not going to come back?
God. I mean, I guess they need to make a sequel.
No. Listen.
Listen.
Listen. Hang on.
Imagine CM Punk is off
CM.
TV. I'll go. You have the floor.
This is a message for you, man. Listen, don't do a sequel to this, man. Please don't. If you guys do a sequel, just get a whole new actor. Just use somebody that can actually act. You know what I mean? Use somebody that can actually act and go from there. Because if you use this, not many people are gonna want to watch that shit. Not many people are gonna watch that shit. And I'm gonna watch it just to talk shit about it. Because us three are gonna watch it to talk shit about it. I'll say that. You don't want that. So just leave it alone, please. If you want to act, do it in the ring. Don't do it on the big screen anymore. Do it in the squared circle. Never in movies, especially horror. I watch too much of it for you to fuck it up for me. So don't do that. No more.
An amendment to what Aaron just said. Don't do it in the ring anymore either.
Oh.
Yes.
Shit.
I mean, he could still do it in the ring from my opinion.
From a slow point of view, yeah. He's
probably slow.
Yeah, he can do stuff, but it's a lot slower.
Oh, I thought you called me slow, and I was like, that's kind of rude, man. I don't think I deserve that at all.
Yeah, I did kind of word that poorly. I'm sorry. I don't actually think you're slow.
Oh, thanks.
You're the smartest person in North Carolina by default.
That's fair.
Because you're from New York. Oh my god.
You're not wrong.
Actually, J. Cole, pretty smart guy.
He is.
Yeah.
I mean, he did say that Get Rich or Die Trying was the best hip hop album of all time. So
he's crazy for saying that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can understand why it might be his favorite, but not. Like,
I guess saying the best of all time. It's for anything though. It's optional because everybody's opinions are going to be different for every.
And it's always going to align with the period that you grew up in.
Yeah, it is. At least those artists that were there in that period, even if it's a whole different. Because my favorite album of all time is "It's Dark as Hell and Hell is Hot," DMX's first album.
Oh, nice. It is probably Illmatic.
That's another good one.
I don't even know. I couldn't even guess. Reasonable Doubt, maybe.
Another great one. All first albums too, if I'm not mistaken. No, is that Nas's first one? Or is that second?
I don't think so. Let me check.
Early.
Anyway, this movie sucks.
Don't do that shit again.
Big time bad.
It was, and I'm just like, fuck.
I'm sorry that we picked this one out, man.
Oh, I'm not sorry about it, because it's one of those things you get out the way.
Illmatic is his first album. You're right.
Illmatic.
Like pulling off a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Just had to get it done.
Yeah, you just get it over with. Now I don't have to deal with this movie again. So I'm like, hey, I want you to watch this. Check it out. No, I already did. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm very skeptical of CM Punk in horror movies going forward now.
Yeah.
And
he was in Heels.
If this is his idea of what he thinks is good, then I'm very worried.
You and me both. But I'm going to keep watching this shit if he keeps making horror movies. And if they're bad, I'm just going to let you know, CM Punk. I'm going to keep tagging you so you make them good. If you keep doing it, so you make a good one. And I'm going to tag you in those too. But this shit.
He needs to fuck off.
No, he just needs more practice. Practice at the acting. Practice at the writing. Let somebody else write and direct. And you just act. Don't try to wear too many hats. Especially when you're doing something fresh and new.
I agree with that.
And don't ask for the close up. We don't need it every other scene. It's not, that shot is it's okay. We don't need it. We know what your face looks like.
And
we get
you
it.
don't need to be the lead. It's
No.
fine if you're you're not the lead, because you led this shit right to this trash. And oof, I'm trying to be nice.
him as a secondary character in Heels was good. I will say that.
But
I'll give
that's
him
also like not too far off from what he does in the ring as far as playing, being a wrestler.
Yep.
Or playing. I mean, yes, I know the wrestling, the whole thing, but like playing a character, in a sense.
Yeah.
In the
You're
ring.
playing what you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this is this is work. This is what I do for work. This is my 9 to 5 anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just got to be a different actor, a different character. Yeah, but maybe they should let him suplex somebody or something. I don't fucking know, because this shit.
I thought I was praying. I was praying. I was like, "Yo, suplex that little girl.
Is he gonna do a
Do
wrestling
something."
move? Nope.
Yeah,
Give her the go to
that would have been
sleep.
so much cooler. That would have been so much cooler if somehow he could have played even more into his vanity and pulled out some form of obscure wrestling move.
Even freaking crawling through the at the end, he's like, talk to his daughter, my baby girl, and he's in the vents or whatever. I'm like, how the hell did he get up there? He's still big, because they don't make him look like he's smaller. He's still the same size sitting up in there. I'm like, that shit must be big as fuck up there. How's his big ass just sitting there chilling?
I mean, if the murdered little girl goblin can make it through those areas, maybe he can.
That's a girl, little girl though.
Yeah.
He's a grown man.
I don't know. I did. I didn't even think about that, just because there were so many other things in this movie that I was having a hard time believing. I was like, oh yeah, that's happening. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, I dead ass. I was like, oh, that's it. We're done now. Like, what?
I couldn't wait for this shit to be over. Within like the first 10, 15 minutes, I was like, oh fuck, I got a long ride.
After they killed the dog, I was just like, when is this over? Really?
See, the one joy I have about being a parent is I don't ever get to sit and watch anything all the way through. So I got to watch this in like 3 different parts. So maybe that's what made it a little bit more palatable for me, because I didn't sit down and watch it all the way through.
Dude, that would give me even more dread, having to watch it in different parts, because I'd be like, oh, I have to watch this another time. You know what I mean?
It didn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't make me enjoy it. It just made me.
Yeah. I fucking hated
made
it.
it more.
I don't like Phil.
Not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not fun, and like the worst part is I wanted it to be good so
I did
bad.
too.
Every part of me was so excited. I was like, Saturday, I'm gonna sit around, I'm gonna watch it, enjoy my day off, weekend, watch this, low budget, maybe possibly good horror movie.
I skipped SmackDown for this shit.
Oh man, you hear that, CM Punk? He skipped SmackDown for this.
And
you ruined my Friday.
Yep.
You motherfucker.
I watched SmackDown.
I watched
and
it
I
this
watched
afternoon.
Rampage.
I watched the Edge match this afternoon.
Yeah.
Edge.
But Edge calling it a career, at least in the WWE, this was the last match he had of his WWE contract. He looks fantastic. Can still go in the ring. He might be going to another place, and if he does, I think he's probably going to wrestle under his real name, Adam Copeland. It's not that bad.
I don't know what to believe.
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe. I'm just going to let it play out. But if it is the end of his WWE career, he had a hell of a good one. And if it is the end of his wrestling career, period, we were lucky to have, gotten this second run that nobody ever thought we were going to get. Absolutely. So it's really cool.
Aaron, did you
one of the more tear-jerking moments was his return.
Oh,
so
no doubt about it. Aaron, did you dig Edge?
I did. I was a fan of him, and I used to like the matches with Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys. Those TLC matches, those were some of the freaking best fun. And I'm just like, yo, like thinking about it now as an adult, like as a grown man, they go, their bodies are fucking destroyed now.
No doubt.
Just for like the entertainment of us fans, but also because they love doing that shit. I'm like, yo, fuck that. I am so glad that for whatever reason, because as kids, I want to be a wrestler when I grow up. I'm glad that for whatever reason that path did not happen for me because shit. Like seriously, shit.
I was like, yo, I'll be a referee when I grow up. That shit looks fun.
I for sure wanted to be a wrestler. Didn't really turn out that way. I went to college and everything, and the more I've gotten older, the more I've realized I don't know if I have the body for it. So, it's not for everybody. Not everyone's built for it.
The fuck no.
That's for sure.
Fuck no.
My knees crack when I feed my dogs. I was not made to be a wrestler. So.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
Yeah. And I think you'd be a great manager, though.
Oh, I could pull that off easily. That would be great.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
I could take a bump. I just couldn't do it all the time. Like I think I could take it and put through a table. Maybe.
I think I could too.
Of all the things.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think I'd want to fall off a ladder. I don't think I'd want to, do any of that hardcore shit.
No.
I think I could probably get put through a table. I don't think I would ever take a chair because that shit looks like it hurts.
Fuck no. Aaron, what do you say? Would you go through a table?
I mean, if it's out of those, I think that is the safest option, I guess.
I think it is too.
The safest, softest option, because everything else is like, yo, I don't want you to throw me through. No, you're not jumping me through the table, jumping off the rope either. No, this is gonna be a regular fucking
like a power bomb.
Yeah. Oh shit. That's basically the same thing, especially if it's one of them 8-foot motherfuckers.
Like it still involves force.
It does
in different ways.
You know what? Maybe off the top rope wouldn't be as bad because they're going down with you and kind of bracing the fall. So
like a nice little elbow or a splash.
Like what they did to Fabulous Moolah. The Dudleys did the Fabulous Moolah when they had her in the power bomb thing and
power bomb.
The sit down power bomb. Yeah.
Boom, right there. I don't want.
If Moolah can do it, I can do it.
Those were some real tough broads, guys.
Yo, that was some wild times. Like I was just watching a clip on Facebook, like Facebook Reels of Fabulous Moolah giving, who the hell was it? Some wrestler now. I forgot who it was. But the Bronco Buster.
Oh, yeah.
Like, wow, that's wild.
Eric Bischoff?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
I was like, that is fucking, that would not be played on TV nowadays. That is wild. Yo, we lived through some wild times of.
Yeah, man.
Not just wrestling, but everything. Like literally.
A lot of that shit does not age well. I will say that.
Not at all.
I look back at this shit. I'll still laugh. I'm like, holy shit. Like, we were watching this as kids. Like, this is.
I know. We had such a weird childhood.
We did. And I wouldn't change it for the world. And what I want to get at is I'm like, yo, these people are like whining and crying and being offended by this. Like, we are all laughing at it because this is nothing. Like, look at this shit. Look what we were watching as kids. And laughing at
we were legit raised on crotch chops, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's literally
like elementary school playground. We were telling everyone to suck it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then everything else.
It was awesome, but
all the music you listened to, and then if you had older siblings or cousins or whatever, all the stuff that you were around with them. Oh man.
Oh yeah, it was some wild times, man.
Some great.
But Sturdy, I do have some impromptu wrestling questions for you because we want to know.
Okay.
Who is your favorite WWE, WCW, and ECW wrestler of all time?
See, I didn't really watch too much WCW, but I'll say for WCW, probably Rey Mysterio. He was one I always, like, when I did switch over to, he's the one I looked at.
I dig it.
WWF, Shawn Michaels. Just because his in-the-ring stuff was just out of this world. ECW, I didn't really get into. And honestly, I think it's just because I didn't know where to find it at the time when it was on.
Okay. Yeah, man. Can totally respect. I think Rey Mysterio and Shawn Michaels. That's those are two guys that if they were still if Shawn Michaels was still wrestling today, I think he could still go. And Rey Mysterio is still going.
Damn, that's crazy.
Current United States champion.
That's crazy. Fuck
wild, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And his son is one of the biggest heels in wrestling right now.
That's awesome.
Dominic Mysterio.
That had to feel
arguably
great.
The biggest.
That had to feel great for that family. That's awesome right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome right there.
Yeah.
He gets the loudest boos of like anyone right now,
and that's exactly what he wants too.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect.
Great. Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought that from
I,
one of the biggest baby faces of all time for his son to be such a piece of shit?
I mean, it's an easy move though, right? Like, because it's easy. One of the biggest baby faces of all time is your dad. You turn on him, boom, boom, there you go. You're immediately the worst. So
yeah, because
and it worked out.
I feel like it's either that or you're under his shadow and you're doing it because he's here type of deal to be that kind of thing for a while. So it's like, all right, let me just turn on him and have this kind of thing going.
Absolutely.
It's gone for him so far, and good for him.
Yeah, gotta do what works.
So, who is your favorite woman in wrestling?
Ooh. I don't know if I really had one too much. China was cool though to watch as far as the wrestling aspect of it.
I can respect that. I can definitely respect that. I mean, she was a stalwart of that era.
She was body slamming dudes.
Mm-hmm.
That alone, like, wasn't she the Intercontinental Champion too for a little bit?
Yeah.
That's respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Feuding with Jericho and Jeff Jarrett.
Like she earned her stripes. She did her thing when she was in the ring. It's unfortunate what happened after the fact, but she did her thing when during that her hot time in the Attitude Era. That she did her thing. Which, oh man, that was such a wild freaking era. Holy shit!
I think that she still needs to get her due in the WWE, like get inducted to the Hall of Fame, and
for sure.
The lineup like Triple H. As if I don't know if you knew this, Aaron, but Triple H and China used to date each other.
Oh, I know. And then he ended up with Stephanie like right after her.
Right. So then after that, like the relationship between him and China got like really weird, and they became real distant. There was bad blood there. She ended up, obviously, as you know, like did like porn and stuff like that. And Triple H uses this as a reason why she shouldn't get inducted in the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't want my kids Googling China and seeing what she did. And it's just like, who the fuck are you to be the morality police, bro? With, like all the
they could just Google you and see what happened either way. You're still connected.
Yeah. So it's a shame about China, but I really hope that she does get her due.
She definitely deserves it. Because that was a huge thing for women's wrestling, if you ask me. Like, I know there was pioneers before her, but what she did was a whole nother level, if you ask me.
She's putting women on the same level as men.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So what's your favorite finishing move of all time?
Finishing move, if I had to choose, Legion of Doom's finishing move is one of my
favorites. I love it, man.
Legion of Doom, I'll have to say, yeah.
The Doomsday Device.
There you go. I was gonna say I know Sean's my favorite wrestler, but that's not the super kick isn't necessarily the coolest move.
Brother, I love that pick. I mean, just like you have the guy on their shoulders, and then you fucking decapitate them, and then the impact of how they hit the mat after they got off the shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, damn. And that was a move that like you can't be safe with it. Like it's almost impossible to do that move safely.
Especially with those fools doing that shit. Like, fuck no. I'm not taking that. No. I'm climbing out the ring and you can count me the fuck out. I'm going home. I'm done. That's wild.
Yeah, that was such a fucking match ender right there, man. Game over.
You're damn near a life ender half the time.
My God, I would definitely after this like watch a highlight reel of the best Doomsday devices.
Ooh.
If you just want to watch people get.
I won't lie to you. All of this is making me very Attitude Era nostalgic right now. Like I kind of want to go back and watch some like to me when he said finisher, I was like, man, I could really go for that clip of Stone Cold coming out and stunning literally everybody. You know what I mean? Like I just some of that stuff. Yes, if you skip over the obvious horrifying racism and misogyny, some of the stuff was so fucking.
I'm gonna go back and just say I laugh at all that shit, the racism, the misogyny, all of it, just because I grew up in it, and I think I understand or understood what they were trying. Was it wrong? Yes, but I understand what they were kind of trying to do because it was like what everything else is doing, our movies and everything else, and music. So it's like, why can't we too?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
There was no checks and balances at that point. I get it.
yeah,
But now I am an adult, so I still have to try to let my adult brain take over sometimes.
Yes.
So I'll skip over it now.
I'm still in the middle with it because I'm still like, you know what, man? There's shit that I find funny. I might not talk about in public, and I'm gonna laugh at and enjoy in the comfort of my own home or at the theater or wherever the fuck I'm at. But it's like, but I get what you're saying too. It's like, all right, man, I am against a lot of this shit in real life. I look like an asshole while going to the movies watching this shit. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't act like this. I get my entertainment from this, though.
It's good times. It was good times, man. It was truly like it was the biggest time in wrestling history.
Oh yeah,
ever,
by far,
like no doubt about it. So,
and
they're doing something right at the time.
Yeah, they did what they had to do. They did what they had to do. I'll give them that because they were definitely being different.
For sure, and they were just so emblematic of that counterculture at that time. You know, that we saw in all different types of media. Just that fucking cutting edge television.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it was.
And pushing the envelope. So, what would you say is your favorite match of all time?
Hell in a Cell. Second Hell in a Cell. Not the one with Shawn and Undertaker, but the one with Mankind and Undertaker.
The one with Mankind and Undertaker, that's your favorite? Just because of the spectacle of everything that happened?
The whole match, like, that's one of my most memorable. I have Mankind's autograph, and I had him sign something to him and Undertaker on the cage. I don't know where the hell I've said it, but like that match is just so freaking memorable. Like that is just it's more memorable than the initial. Like I wish that was the first ever Hell in a Cell match. The one with Shawn and Undertaker. Don't get me wrong, it was a good match, but it's not the one that people talk about when you talk about Hell in a Cell. When it first came, you don't talk about the Shawn and Undertaker. You talk about Undertaker and Mankind, and it's because of everything that happened during that match. And you're like, yo, this guy,
it's iconic.
This guy is a tough. No, fuck that. He's on another level than tough.
The fact that like he took all those bumps and then he just continued to wrestle was just the outstanding thing to me. Is just
so
how do you do it?
To your point though, like if you want to really see how insane tough he is, not only should you watch Beyond the Mat, but you should watch the actual match that they taped from that. I think it was The Rock at Royal Rumble, I think.
Oh my god!
Where he takes like 7 or 8 or 9 chair shots to the head.
I remember watching okay, so watch the actual match though, because I remember watching a documentary on that, and he was pissed at The Rock at that.
Yeah, he had his hands behind his back. Hands were tied behind his back, and he was taking the chair shots.
Unbelievable. I mean, stupid, but insanely tough.
Yeah.
It's shocking that dude can speak right now.
Agreed.
Let alone,
and he's somebody that we need. You know, he's one of the good ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, he was someone. I was a fan of him when he was my favorite. Not my favorite wrestler, but like my favorite variation of him is when he first came and it was Mankind with the dark mask and all that other stuff.
Yep.
Because you had more of the horror aspect and element to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think him and Undertaker had the best rivalry ever. Because it was just.
I loved old school Mankind in the boiler room. You know,
the boiler room.
Going back and forth. You know, doing the pig squeals.
And
I could certainly see why you would gravitate towards that. Like for sure, just knowing your genre and whatnot, it makes sense, and it is cool, and it was different.
Yeah,
right. Like there was nothing like that at the time.
I loved how he was the one guy that like pushed Undertaker to his limits. Like it had to be somebody that would just go completely insane and would be able to endure so much pain and go along with it. It was a beautifully told story.
It had to be someone that wasn't scared of him, because everybody had to play that character like they were scared of the Undertaker when he came.
Yeah.
And this guy just was not afraid of him. He's like, nah, fuck that. I'm just.
And I loved how just how scary the character was. Paul Bearer made the decision to align with Mankind and turn on Undertaker.
Yep. I mean, and I just thinking back, like this dude would be rocking in the ring, pulling his own damn hair out. I'm like, what the fuck?
I know. I know. You don't see anyone that has that much dedication today.
No. I'm not listen. I'm not telling you guys to pull your hair out and all that crazy shit though, because that's nobody's built for that but Mick Foley. Just let him be the only one doing that shit.
Yeah, for sure. It's not healthy to do that. Let's not pull our hair out, guys.
Did you guys see anything about that Blue Cane? I remember seeing something about it a couple of weeks ago. And that makes sense.
The internet guy, on Twitter. I think it was more or less parody, but some very funny tweets came from that. Yeah. It was definitely a day on wrestling Twitter or a day or two there where Blue Cane was kind of one of the big ones, wanting to wrestle everybody and everybody wanting to wrestle him. And then I think he got suspended or some shit like that because of,
shit. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I don't even know, man. I wasn't following too close to it. I know that Matt Cardona was feuding with him. But I don't think a match ever happened.
Nah, nor will it. But, got to get Matt Cardona in on everything that's popular. That man knows how to involve himself in anything and everything. So,
indeed. Sturdy, if you had the choice of, there being a horror character of your knowledge that would be a very good wrestling character, who would it be?
That's tough.
With anything that hasn't been done.
A horror character, but in
wrestling,
but as a wrestler, they all just want to kill though. That's the thing.
Maybe feel like they like pinning 1, 2, 3 or submitting, choking people out.
Well, that'd be Jason Voorhees if we want to go to choking people out, but he chokes them out of breath, out of
That's a good finisher.
Nice little headlock.
Well, there was this wrestler, Bray Wyatt, that had this character named the Fiend, and
I've seen some of his stuff. His
shit is like Jason, but I don't dig it because I don't know. I feel like in a wrestling match, someone shouldn't just not sell any of the moves that their opponent is doing to them, no matter who the character is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should be taking that damage for a little bit at least.
Dope aesthetic though.
It's a dope. Yeah, the presentation was there. I'll say that.
Does he still wrestle as that character, or is he different?
No, he's different. He's more himself now, but it's still kind of up in the air as far as what exactly he's doing. He's been plagued with injuries since he's come.
Yeah.
That's.
I will say you should probably check out. He had a custom belt made, and I can't think of the name of the mask maker that did it.
Tom Savini.
Really fucking cool. Mm-hmm. Tom Savini did a custom belt for him.
Nice.
So if you ever get a chance, just check that out because it's really fucking
nice. Yeah, I know Tom Savini makes his masks. He makes a lot of masks actually, but
yeah,
and he does some dope shit.
Yeah, it is really incredible. Do you ever watch any of that? Those costume competitions for the horror masks and shit?
Oh nah, the cosplay competitions, nah, because I'm usually when I'm at those cons, I'm usually walking around. If I'm not getting autographs, I'm buying shit. Yeah. I'm doing something. I wouldn't mind sitting in some because I've seen some fucking amazing shit, and I'll just talk to people, take their picture if they're cool with it. But I've never sat down for those things. Yeah. I'm like a kid in a candy store when I go to those horror conventions. I can't sit still. I can't sit still for too long.
That's how we were at WrestleCon.
Nice.
Weekend.
Nice.
I was the same when I went to Nickel City in Buffalo, and that's got a big horror area.
Nice.
Along with the Comic-Con stuff, I went to that a handful of years back.
Is that where you met the Young Bucks?
Yeah. Yep.
How often is there wrestling cons, or are they usually mixed with a Comic-Con?
It's usually mixed with WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that's usually when those are set.
The bigger ones.
Yeah.
But the wrestlers do the Comic-Con circuit, and we'll go to all of them. Okay. They do San Diego. They'll do most of them. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a handful of wrestlers that would do some of the horror.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. They do every now and then.
There's these conventions on the East Coast too that like are always like a mix mash of wrestling and movies and sports and stuff like that, and they all do autograph signings. So you see wrestlers pop up in that all the time.
At that same con, I met Barb from Stranger Things. Nice. I met the dude that played Boba Fett. Fucking Jay from Clerks. So you can imagine the kind of mix that was, at that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What would you guys rate this movie?
I'm gonna go with my man Bret Hart and say it was a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. What about you, Dan?
I'm 2.5 out of 10.
2.5. I like it. I gave it a 0.
I like it. I like it. I thought, wow, I was being generous, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were being generous. But I also thought I was being generous. I almost had a negative number in my head, and then I said, no, I'm not going to be that harsh. Out of 10. If it was out of 5, it probably would have been a negative 2.5. But,
No, this one wasn't worth a negative for me because I do give negative scores, and it wasn't that bad, but it didn't deserve a 1 either. Like, I do.
Potential.
Yeah.
CM Punk ruined this movie.
He did. I said that in the beginning.
I know.
Yeah.
We're just sandwiching it.
He
did. My man.
Yeah. It was rough. I blame him for it. So.
Yeah, me too.
I blame him for a lot of stuff.
I'm still going to watch Collision, but I'm going to shake my head every time he comes on the TV screen and be like, man, Don, you motherfucker.
Going to have to go with GCW tonight first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to watch that instead of watching Collision live.
What GCW show?
Homecoming. Big show.
Oh, that's
night 1 is tonight, and night 2 is tomorrow. If any of you guys have the app Fight Plus, this is dope wrestling promotion. GCW, they're having 2 awesome shows this weekend. Fight Plus is like $4.99 a month. It's a steal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Aaron, we have a question here for you. Eric and I had talked about this a little while back, but before we get out of here, we would love, next time we're able to do a show, maybe you can come over on Smarknado. We'd love to do a review of one of the better shows of all time in WCW, that being Halloween Havoc 1997.
Okay.
Halloween-themed WCW show. I think it'd be really fun. So I'm officially extending the offer to you. We can always take a beat and figure out a time, but this is an idea that we've thought of, and we would love to have you on sometime. Hopefully we can make that happen soon.
I'll not only accept that, but I'll throw out an idea, and let's do it a Halloween episode, do it in October, throw it out around then so it fits in the theme, Halloween Havoc, and boom.
I think you're a marketing genius, my man. We'll make it happen.
Do it right around then. It'll also give me time to like watch, which I will rewatch it once it's closer, but kind of just watch through it. And
it's on Peacock. If you have Peacock, all the WWE content is on there.
And it was Halloween. Just send me in a message which one it is. I'm gonna.
Yep.
When you get.
That's dope. Yeah, we'll send that over for you. We're super excited to do that. Gives us some time.
Nice.
But yeah, man, it's always a blast to be on your show.
Yeah,
so
it's a pleasure.
On ours.
I love having you guys on. I just wish we could do some better fucking movies. But
we'll find some.
We'll find one.
With some of these, you know what it is, people. We're trying to figure out which of these wrestling horror movies, for the people that are wrestling fans and horror fans, or just have friends that are kind of a mixture of both. We're trying to see which ones are actually worth watching that are good. And so far, 2 of them sucked.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I've never seen See No Evil, so if you're telling me it's okay, I might check it out.
Yeah, I might too.
You know, so
I mean, that could be the next one we review when we come back on here again. Is See No Evil.
Facts.
I'm down with
Love that idea.
There we go.
Hopefully, it's got to be better than what we've done before.
Oh, definitely.
You know, we had one that did not take itself seriously at all. I think.
Yeah,
and then we had one that took itself a little too seriously. I think
there was one that me and you talked about on Twitter, Dan. I forgot what the hell it was called, but I do still want to check that out. I don't know if we messaged each other about it or what it was, but It's probably gonna be bad. I'm letting you guys know now. It's probably
All right. Well, I'll scroll back. I'll find that one too, man. No doubt about it.
Hey, bad movies make for a fun show too.
Oh, they definitely do. You know what? That's the thing with those though. It's not always true in the sense of sometimes they're bad, but they're not like bad enough to really like crack too many jokes on. They're just like bad, boring, and bland. Almost like this movie was, but sometimes even more bland than this was. And they're just like, shit, fuck it, fuck it.
You're like, all right, we got 15 minutes on this show. What else we talking about?
Yep. But again, people, we just discussed and reviewed Girl on the Third Floor. Home is where hell is. Well, so the fuck is where this movie is, because it was a hell of a watch, and I don't mean that in a good way. But I'm gonna let my guys tell you where they can find them over on Smarknado. There's a logo, so you know where you can see them. But
yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Smarknado, on Twitter/X at Smarknado1. Leave us a nice 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We have a merch store that's right in our Linktree. I'll send you the link to that, Aaron. It'll be in the description. So yeah, check out our shit. I got about 2 episodes a week.
Nice.
Most weeks.
2 episodes a week, people. I have your link tree. It's already in the description, Eric. I'm
perfect.
Professional, man. I'm on top of my stuff, man. I'm on top of my stuff.
He's a pro. He doesn't throw together his episodes like we do. This is a professional.
Well,
we're lucky to be on this show.
I do throw them together. I just have I have the links saved that I know. The returning guests, I save their links.
This guy knows.
See?
This guy knows.
But yeah, again, CM Punk, please don't do this again.
No.
It was just bad. But
yeah.
On a positive note, we watched it. We got through it. You did create it. You did make a movie. I'll give you credit for that. I will give you credit for that. It's not always negative. But this was bad. This was bad.
I hope this was your last.
Go back to the I say go back to the drawing board. I want to see more. I always want to say I want to see more. Go back to the drawing board. Let somebody else take the lead. You just listen and do as they say. And you may do a little bit better. Don't be the lead actor either. Just you'll figure it out, hopefully. Maybe. Kind of doubt it.
We'll try.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, if I see you in a horror movie, I'm going to review it. And I'm going to tag you on Twitter. And hopefully one of these movies is good. If you are in more than one horror movie. But we'll see. Everyone else, have a good night. I'll see you in your nightmares. Peace.
Stay fresh. Cheese, babe.
Yeah, that too.